Just a little bit of that because I know they're going to bust me if I leave it on. What's going on, people? But I tell you what, Monday, right? 18th. I get confused. 18th of July. Cheers. So yeah, people, I'd be a Hoover music. All kinds, just wanting to know what's going on. So that little bit that you heard there that I hope I don't get copyright busted for is a recent track by artist by the name of IDK, produced by Katirina. Breathe. I think it's exceptional, and it stands out from what the other stuff I've heard by IDK. You know, the rest of what I've heard by him is fairly typical pop music. I was thinking about that as well, you know. Hip-hop has been pop music. It's the mainstream for generations now. Rock and roll has been dead as far as being the voice of youth for a long time. Hip-hop is the pop music of the world today. And that song is, I think it's exceptional out of his stuff, and it has these qualities that I look for in music, or that I know what I like. That's what I'll say, you know. And when I hear it, when I feel it, and that's a good one. Something else that's new, that is pop, hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it, that caught my attention, and I like what she is saying. Not Lizzo, but Latto, Latto. She has a new video out for a song called Pussy. And I love what she has to say and her stance. The other part about my acceptance and love of it is that how she's coming across, the way that everything is so sexual. Everything. I love how in the video she just says, hey, Latto says, you know, I just love how she puts it, you know, because it's like it's about Supreme Court and the madness of people who have no business trying to, they really don't have any business forcing their thoughts, their way of thinking on the rest of the world. It's wrong. So Latto, with her song Pussy, caught my attention. Said, yeah, that's good. I listen, people. I listen a lot, and people make recommendations to me. And I check the things out that you recommend to me if I hadn't heard it already. And I'm going to be honest, 3/4 of the time, it's not hitting. It's like, no, this isn't, no. It's an elusive thing that I can find in all areas of music that touches me personally. So that's why I get excited about sharing what I like, because I know what I like. And just like the Gang of Four had that song called I Found That Essence Rare. Sounds a bit pretentious, but that is what I like in music, is when something about it is like, ooh, that's special, or that's cool. Like that song, IDK, Breathe. The vocal, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So, how y'all doing? Starting on Monday. Expressing my concern that not a damn thing I can do about it, but Europe and England are burning up. Heat wave, it's hot over here, but over there, unprecedented heat. I hope, sincerely, I know people are dying. Man, that sucks. Be safe, people. Be safe. So, I have another interview coming up to share with you, and this will seem kind of, some folks will say, really? This? Him? Really? Yeah. So, I was thinking about Charles Hayward, and I decided that the time wasn't right. Then the other thing that occurred to me more clearly is, we'll get a hold of Greg. He's an actual friend. We've actually been in each other's company. I'm talking about Greg Eklund from the band Everclear. He was in the band Everclear. And for a few years, a while back, he lived here in Omaha when his wife got a job here. And we became friends. And he lives in Minneapolis now. And so I just reached out to him. I thought to myself, hey, Greg's story is interesting. Having been in this band that had hits, Everclear, and then out of the band, and then he's playing with Storm Large now. But here's what's interesting. When I met Greg, we vibed. So this is about friendship. I was never a fan of this band, although they caught my attention with a couple of their songs, with what Art was singing about, and also the groove. It's got a good groove, which is my friend Greg on the drums. Okay, so Wednesday he's agreed to do a Zoom conversation with me. I haven't seen him since they moved except once. Came through town on tour with Storm Large, and I went to the show. It was great to see him. And so like I said, this is based on friendship. Everclear is not one of those kind of bands that, I think is exceptional or anything like that. But Greg as a person is exceptional. We really hit it off really well. And we jammed. He released a digital single that we collaborated on. It's online somewhere. And we did one live show in Omaha, Higgins Eklund. So that's Wednesday. I'm looking forward to doing the Zoom with him. He's a good guy. The other thing about getting to know people beyond their public persona is you find out what people are really about. And, I've been guilty of it as a fan in the past, where I will pigeonhole people, or I'll think I figured someone else out just by listening to their music or watching them, and I'll be dead wrong. And so I'm saying that in regards to Greg Eklund. You may have an impression of who he may be because of that band that he was in, Everclear. And I'll tell you straight up, it's wrong. He's a great guy. Really good person. So that's Wednesday coming up, okay? Not much music played yesterday. I'm trying to think what I actually did, which is not too much. And there are some days like that. And right now in the summertime with the heat, I'm kind of keeping on a low profile, just try to just cruise through the days. And with that, hello family, hello Stephanie, hello Karim, hello twins, hello everyone else that is watching on a regular basis. L.E., Becca, Cosmic Drifter, Phil, PJR, Oscar. I notice you people, but the idea of trying to do a roster of shouting everybody out all the time, that'd be fucking ridiculous, wouldn't it? But I feel you, recognize you, and I'm glad you're with me. So, pulled this because I hadn't played in a long time and forgotten. Jan Hammer Group, Melodies. Absolutely love Jan Hammer. You know his work from TV, Crockett's Theme, touring with the Jeff Beck. From the Czech Republic originally. I heard of him as a pianist for Sarah Vaughan way back in the day. So this is an example of the group caving in. Now I'm almost certain I'm right about what I'm about to say. So when the Jan Hammer Group, when he and Jerry Goodman broke off from Mahavishnu, they made that album Like Children. Then after that came the Jan Hammer albums. Then he started this group. And their best album is the one, Oh Yeah, I'd Grab It, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just killer. But the best part of the album is the instrumentals. This one is vocals, love songs, really trying hard to find a way into the commercial market, which to me is the death knell of the specialness of the music. Jan Hammer's beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous melodies and his signature tones on the synthesizer are all throughout this album. But to me, some of the words on this album are fucking cringeworthy. You know, it's like, yuck. I personally hate that about the world. I do. That more people can't just slow down and focus and listen to the frickin' music. Just me. Here's one I pulled because I couldn't remember what it sounds like. Elliott Sharp's Semantics, Bone of Contention. Frankly, this is much more like it musically in general for me than this, although I love Jan Hammer. But this is instrumental. They're hitting you with some heavy ideas with the music. It's slightly angular. It's not real comfortable. Guitar-based, kind of jagged, damned good. Bone of Contention, music that makes me think. Oh, god damn, this is what I like, okay? That's what I like. Here's one I'm curious to find more out. I wonder if they're still going. Heard about this album when it came out, I think around 2010. Candy Claws, Hidden Lands. Somehow I heard a bit of it, and I was captivated right away because it's like, what is that? What is that? Doesn't sound like anything else. This is real dreamlike, real. Oh man, this is very cool. This is the sort of thing that I'm wanting to find, which is unique, kind of otherworldly, or kind of dreamlike, or it's kind of like the title of the album is perfect, Hidden Lands. It's like while this is playing, it's like I'm in an unfamiliar place, but I like it, and it's engaging, and it's like I even am listening, have to listen closely to the music to figure out, well, what are they doing? Is that an organ? Is that field recordings? What is it? This is real good, and I've heard the first album, but I don't have it, and I wonder if they're still going. Candy Claws. That's the kind of stuff that I love. Pull this. Limited edition by Can. This is my second copy. I got this right away when it came out. It was a lower price deal, kind of like Faust Tapes. So that was a real nice thing. I wore that original copy out and don't know what happened to it. So lucky, many years ago, long time ago, I was able to replace it with another original. I've always loved that cover too, with the mice and the lady with the, like, she's like on the front. It's like, if you notice in the picture, she's lifting her dress, like holy shit. And then on here, it's like she's calm. Love this album, like it even more now than when it first came out. It just, over time, what was going on with Can is just so clear to me now. They were one of the greatest bands of all time to me. And I'm happy to say, I listened to all aside one of this today after I was talking about it, my album Future Still. Get this, people. Get this. This is good. Damn. I was to the point where I forgot that it's me. It's like, this is good, and it doesn't sound like anybody else. And it's really what I like. I'm also happy to say that I've got 3/4 of the new album done already, and it's better than that by my own assessment. And that's the other thing about doing music and art, is that for people, I think I can make a general statement, for people where the art is alive in them, we're always working on our best. Some people say, well, so-and-so was your best work. This was your best work. Well, many of us, from the first person will tell you that, no, my best work is still to come. As long as I'm alive and working on it, my best is yet to come. And that's definitely where I'm at with my music. It's improving. A few more records. Cressida, this is a reissue. This is one of those Holy Grail Vertigo UK albums. If you can find it, you're going to pay $1,000 more for it. Musically, it's worth it. Not the 1,000, but the fact that it's so collectible beyond Vertigo is it's a very good album. Some people compare it a bit to the Moody Blues. I see what they're saying, but mostly what it is it's an early version of, early example of English, slightly pastoral rock. It's just a cut above. Cressida. This is really good. And it reminds me that Anita gave me their second album, Asylum. Excuse me. Thank you, Anita, if you see this. Another album, another band I've seen a few times and met. Great people. Greg Saunier, the drummer, is my kind of person. Very conscientious, very much cares about things. Apple O by Deerhoof. I think this is on blue vinyl. This is a wonderful band because they have many different ways of approaching their music. They don't sound the same on all the albums, and yet you can tell it's the same band. But they can go from skronk to punk to almost modern classical to prog. Fantastic band, Apple O. Really, really like it. And that's what I have. Last thing I'd like to comment on is I'd like to share my opinion, because it's just an opinion. This is one thing that we've got to remember or try to learn, because people are going at each other's throats because all we're doing is sharing thoughts, and people lose their lives over not understanding that someone else, just because they say something, that it has to be something. It's just their thoughts. So Roger Waters is out on tour. I've seen him live. Big thumbs up to Roger Waters, to who he is as a person, because he puts his money where his mouth is, and he cares. And he's getting criticism from, I think, shallow, short, small-minded people criticizing him because of what he has to say in his concerts. And he recently made a comment that he is more relevant than a couple of Drake and The Weeknd. He can say that if he fucking wants to, you know. It's his opinion. And people just getting all caught up in all this social media, just all this talk. And the rock music book actually made a video to talk about it. And I'm thinking, people, y'all need to, this is just my perspective. That response to Roger Waters seems immature to me. If anything, as a public figure, he has earned the right by his actions to say what the fuck he wants. You know, do I see what he's saying? Yeah, I do. Do I agree with it? Well, I'm older. I'm not a kid, okay? So I can see where young folks, even a younger friend of mine, got all up in arms about it on Facebook, and I just told him, man, Roger can say what the hell he wants. Keep on moving. But that's the perspective difference between age, you know. This young person who knows something about music has not experienced what Roger and myself at my age have experienced about the whole picture. So, bravo to Roger Waters. He can say whatever the holy fuck he wants to. Another example is on Twitter. People got way bent out of shape. People see about David Crosby. But it's been known, if you've been following rock music, that from the very beginning in the Byrds, David Crosby's been a huge ego person. Very much into himself and says whatever the hell he wants. So there was all this bullshit about someone posted on his Twitter a piece of art that they had done of him. And he didn't like it. And he was in a mood, and so he said, don't quit your day job. And it's just blown up. It's like everyone, I'll say it like that. It's like you see all these people, it's like, where do you come from thinking you have anything to say about what David Crosby has to say about anything? trying to shame him and tell him, well, you just really made a fan feel really bad and this and that. And it's like, David Crosby is old. And if you knew anything about him, you would know that you might get that from him. So just some of the public response from people to me seems so, and it's like people don't have any perspective. And I work hard at following the message of the 4 agreements, which is to try not to don't take things personally. It's hard, but it makes so much sense, Don't take shit personally. People do stuff because of the crap in their heads, not because of you. And so that's what I kept thinking about with the David Crosby, which is everyone is all upset because the guy who made the piece of art just probably got his feelings hurt. Well, that happens. But his response is on him. Okay? David Crosby can say whatever the hell he wants to. Okay? And how the guy takes it is on him. People. We're in adult bodies, but a lot of us just aren't very mature at all. Anyway, that's what Dereck's got on his mind. Wednesday, I'll have Greg Eklund for a guest. Let me know how you're doing, people.